डिस्कस हो गया synapse and properties. क्या क्या properties थी? Anyone can give it? What is the property of synapse? Anyone? Synaptics, delay or conversion and divergence, facilitation and confusion. Relation are what two types? Facial and temporal. Confusion हो गया और और मेरे synaptic modulation, ठीक है? Whether it is in inhibition form or in the facilitation form, pre-synaptic inhibition, post-synaptic inhibition, facilitation like that. Okay? So we just discuss briefly the salient features. The soma dendritic tree acts like an integrator that summates all the EPSP and IPSP. What does that mean? That summates all the EPSP and IPSP. That after summation, what will happen with the development of post-synaptic potential? Then, if it is above threshold, action potential will fire. Action potential जनरेट कहां पर होता है? कोई भी एक्सॉन है, the trigger point for generation of action potential is at which region of axon? Axon you know for the initial segment of the axon. That is the most sensitive region where there is preponderance of the sodium channels. That's why that is the reason where the action potential will get generated. Now, when the action potential will generate at that point, action potential should travel toward the end of that axon, or it is also spread toward the cell body or soma. Bidirectional. Action potential is bidirectional. That means action potential obviously it will travel to the end of the axon, but action potential also has propensity to travel towards the cell body or dendrite. ठीक है ना? इसको क्या बोलते हैं? सोमा डेंड्राइट स्पाइक. ठीक है ना? इसका कुछ फायदा होता होगा? एक्शन पोटेंशियल जो है जो न्यूरॉन जो आपके एक्सोन टर्मिनल में जा रहा है वहां पे तो फायदा है. इट इज कॉल्ड द रिलीज ऑफ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर. बट इफ इट स्प्रेड्स प्रॉक्सिमली टुवर्ड्स द सेल बॉडी ऑफ सोमा, इज देयर एनी एडवांटेज ऑफ दैट? Facilitation. Facilitation in which sense? तो मान लिया कि आपका जो सेल बॉडी है, सेल बॉडी को आप स्लेट समझिए. स्लेट पे आपने कुछ कैलकुलेशन किया. अब उसको कैलकुलेशंस फिर कर दिया, उसके पास को क्या करना है? वाइप करना पड़ेगा ना. तो दैट द फ्रेश कैलकुलेशन कैन हैपन. तो व्हाट दिस यू कैन से सेल बॉडी और डेंड्राइटिक स्पाइक जो एक्शन पोटेंशियल जो आपका सेल बॉडी की तरफ जा रहा है, व्हाट इट विल डू? It will wipe out that thing so that again algebraic summation of the next impulse cell can happen. You can say it will be acting like a wiping of the slate, so that the fresh calculation may happen in the cell body for the next impulse. Okay? Now it takes about 0.5 millisecond to cross the 20 nanometer wide synaptic cleft. Synaptic cleft has some dimension around 20 to 40 nanometer wide. ठीक है, तो total time taken is around 0.5 millisecond. Now you can imagine 0.5 millisecond. अब जो हम लोगों ने पढ़ा आपका था फाइबर्स में जो स्पीड ऑफ कंडक्शन है few meters per second है. So that means this synaptic transmission is a much slower process than the law of conduction. इसका क्या फायदा हो सकता है कि हमको एक सिनेप्टिक डिले का टाइम पता है. इट इज अराउंड 0.5 मिलीसेकंड. तो फिजियोलॉजिस्ट इससे क्या इन्फ्रेंस निकालते हैं यूजुअली? वेरी गुड. नंबर ऑफ साइनैप्स, वेदर योर सर्किट इज मोनोसाइनेप्टिक और इट इज पॉलीसाइनेप्टिक. थ्रू दिस टाइम यू कैन फाइंड आउट. तो फॉर एग्जांपल स्ट्रेस रिफ्लेक्स है. स्ट्रेस रिफ्लेक्स इज मोनोसाइनेप्टिक स्ट्रेस रिफ्लेक्स. द इंपल्स विल गो टू द एफरेंट न्यूरॉन, to dorsal horn, it will relate to the anterior horn cell, and efferent nerve fiber will come and they will cause the contraction of the muscle. So through that time they came to know So they came to that conclusion that the stress reflex is monosynaptic. Otherwise, they can also find out time is more and it will be polysynaptic. Usually आपकी बॉडी में जो भी आपकी जो डीप टेंडन जर्क्स है, स्ट्रेच रिफ्लेक्स, these are monosynaptic. The superficial reflex है, later on we will covering that your human lab, that will be your polysynaptic reflex. Okay? Small molecules, neurotransmitters and neuropeptides, they can coexist in the same neuron. The neuron is said to be facilitated when the potential is nearer the threshold for firing than normal, but not yet to the firing level. ये क्लियर हुआ था आपको लास्ट टाइम कि मान लिया आपका इम्पल्स ट्रेवल कर रही है फ्रॉम प्री सिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन टू पोस्ट सिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन. व्हाट विल हैपन? पोस्ट सिनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन विल फायर, बट उसका जो नेबरिंग न्यूरॉन होगा उसका पोटेंशियल भी चेंज होगा टुवर्ड्स पॉजिटिविटी. ठीक है, सो दैट नाउ इट्स पोटेंशियल इज मोर नियरर टू द थ्रेशोल्ड लेवल, तो दैट इज सेड टू बी द फैसिलिटेटेड, और यू कैन से इन द सबलिमिनल जोन. ठीक है, तो दैट neuron may get facilitated. Okay, it is easier to stimulate this neuron with subsequent input. Okay, तो इसका फायदा क्या होगा फैसिलिटेशन का सबलिमिनल जोन का कि if next time you give only a weak stimulus then that neuron is able to fire. Okay, now other things were difference between the electrotonic conduction and action potential. You are well aware of it. Subthreshold potential change is proportional to the stimulus strength. It is graded potential, while action potential is independent of stimulus. All or none law follow कर रहा है. That threshold potential change, it is not propagated but decremental with distance, and it is action potential is propagated unchanged in magnitude. I think you have been told about some physics of your impulse conduction. Okay, what is time constant, what is space constant. But through that we can find out. Then this electrotonic conduction, it shows summation, while action potential summation is not possible. Clear? But different neurons, they can respond differently based on their different excitatory state and maximum frequency of discharge. That's why various kind of modulations are possible in the central nervous system. Hypoxia, pH changes and drugs, they may affect synaptic transmission. How they may affect? For example, pH change. ये आपका एसिडोसिस हो गया या अल्कोलोसिस हो गया. How it can affect the synaptic transmission? एसिडोसिस में क्या होगा? बढ़ेगा या कम होगा? It will reduce the transmission of synapse. जैसे डायबिटिक कॉमा है, एसिडोसिस है, उसमें आपका that transmission will get reduced. Excitability is reduced. While in case of alkalosis, alkalosis हम ज़्यादातर कब करते हैं? For example, when a subject over ventilates, ठीक है, तो hyperventilation will lead to alkalosis, and that alkalosis sometimes it may precipitate seizures. The subjects who are having the epileptic tendency, if these subjects somehow they hyperventilate, so they are more prone to develop the seizures. ठीक है, so that's because of the change of the synaptic transmission, because of the any kind of pH change. Now obviously the drugs, they may also affect it. Okay, now we come to the next topic, the somatic sensations. What is sensation? Sensation is basically, you can say that conscious awareness of the feeling that is evoked by the stimulation of certain type of receptors. Whenever the receptors will get stimulated, what will happen? So that sensory information will travel to the brain, and when your brain is consciously perceiving that feeling, that will be coming to the category of sensation. Initially it will be purely only the sensory information, and when it goes to the brain at the conscious level and the subject is aware of it, that will become sensation. Okay, and this is your general somatosensory axis. What is happening here? There is certain kind of receptors, for example, receptors in the skin and deep in the tissue, receptors in the muscle, like muscle spindle, receptors in your joints, proprioceptors. Okay? These are the receptors in the muscles, and these are the mechanoreceptors in the skin. Whenever these are stimulated by certain kind of stimuli, what is stimuli? Anything which changes the environment in the vicinity of that receptor. ठीक है, either that environment is external or it is internal. That stimuli may be of any kind. ठीक है, later on we will see it will be mechanical, it may be chemical, it may be electromagnetic, like that. Okay, the information will be carried through spinal cord, medulla. Ultimately they will relate to the thalamus, and before that there will be some exchange of information with the cerebellum, and cerebellum mein there will be pre-processing of that information, and then finally the information will be going to the somatosensory areas. ठीक है, posterior to the central sulcus. Okay, and this is your general somatosensory axis. We will go in detail of that. What are the somatic sensations? These are the sensations which arise from the somatic structures of the body, that is skin and the deep tissue. The types may be mechanoceptic sensations, that include the most commonly the tactile and the proprioceptive. So tactiles, touch, pressure and vibration. Proprioceptive, sense of position and movement, which is sensations are coming from the, you can say, from muscle spindle or from around joints. Pain sensations are known as the nociceptive sensation, and pain receptors, these are known as nociceptors. So when any kind of noxious stimuli or innocuous stimuli, it stimulates that receptor nociceptor, then nociceptive kind of sensations will get elicited. Then there may be thermal sensation, cold and warm. Apart from this, there may be, you can say, chemical sensations, electromagnetic sensations. For example, rod and cones, they are stimulated by light. Olfactory receptors, they are stimulated by some chemical. Okay, or you may categorize them into either there is conscious sensation or it is unconscious sensation, like that. Now this is your types of receptors present in the skin. For example, fingertip में आपके कौन-कौन से receptors होते हैं? Receptors in the epidermis and the dermis. तो free nerve endings are most crude type of receptors. ठीक है, we will go in detail into that. Mischner capsules, Merkel cells, Ruffini capsules and Pacinian capsules are deep in the skin. Now what are the features of the sensory receptors? सबसे पहली चीज, they act as transducers. Transducers means they will convert the one form of energy into the another form. So basically your receptors, they may get stimulated by any kind of energy, either the mechanical energy, or it may be thermal energy, it may be chemical energy, and ultimately that energy form will be converted into electrical impulse. So your all sensory receptors, they are acting like a transducers, and the structure of that receptor, that is specialized in the sense that will cause the amplification of that stimuli, so that the electrical impulses are relaying to the brain. Now they react to a particular form of stimuli that is known as adequate stimulus. That stimuli for which the receptor is specific, that stimuli is known as adequate stimulus. So here adequate does not mean only supra-threshold. Here adequate also means a specific type of stimuli. Your receptors, they are specific for that specific kind of stimuli. Okay, later on we will see that is known as adequate stimulus. The receptors may be either the rapidly adapting or slowly adapting. Okay, what does that mean? Later on we will see. जैसे मान लिया कि you are putting on a shirt, your touch receptors get activated. But if your touch receptors are continuously getting activated, what will happen? That will bother you. So what is happening there? So nature has designed them so that these touch receptors are rapidly adapting. Initially they will get stimulated, but later on there is no continuous stimulation. Okay, so some receptors we need in our body to be rapidly adapted, and for some receptors we need that continuous information should go to the brain. Brain should get apprised continuously about that kind of stimulus. Then sensory receptors, they are developing the receptor potential. And the receptor potential ultimately will generate the action potential, That's why this receptor potential is also known as generator potential. Okay? And these receptors are of various complexity. Now we will look into that. Now this is your stimulation of receptors by various kind of stimuli. What is happening here? Now this is your Pacinian capsule. There the connective tissue layer around that Pacinian capsule, and in the center there is a nerve fiber. The tip of nerve fiber is unmyelinated, okay, and later on it becomes myelinated. So myelination starts inside the capsule only, okay. So it is showing this. Whenever this receptor is stimulated, what happens? So that receptor is basically a stress-sensitive channel. So whenever there is a mechanical deformation of this receptor, what will happen? Membrane will get stressed and ion channel will open. It will cause the entry of the sodium ion. Now this will lead to the development of receptor potential. And the receptor potential, that amplitude of that receptor potential, that will depend on the strength of the stimulus. Whenever it is a weak stimulus, receptor potential is less. As you increase the receptor potential, with increasing strength of stimulus, the amplitude of receptor potential will also increase. And if it is a strong stimulus, receptor potential reaches above threshold, then action potential or the spike potential will fire. Okay. Now, the various kind of stimuli, they can lead to the generation of this receptor potential. Now, what are the complexity range of receptors? Now, you just see here, this is simple neural receptor. So this is the most primitive, I can say, crude type of receptor, free nerve endings. There is no specialized receptors. The ending of axon itself, they are acting like a receptor. So these are known as free nerve endings. So usually your nociceptors or the pain receptors, these are free nerve ending. Okay. One important thing here, this is your cell body. आप लोग को एनाटॉमी में पढ़ा होगा, दिस इज डॉर्सल रूट गैंग्लिया. तो डॉर्सल रूट गैंग्लिया का जो प्रोसेस है, एक प्रोसेस उसका पेरिफेरी में जा रहा है और एक प्रोसेस इसका सेंटर में जा रहा है. दिस इज नोन एज स्यूडो यूनिपोलर न्यूरॉन. तो एक ही प्रोसेस जो है दो पार्ट में डिवाइड हो गया. आइडियली इट शुड बी टर्म्ड एज डेंड्राइट, बट इन योर बुक इट इज टर्म्ड एज एक्सॉन. तो वी कैन फॉर ऑल प्रैक्टिकल पर्पज वी कैन टेक इट एज पेरिफेरल एक्सॉन, बट दिस इज योर एफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ दिस न्यूरॉन. ओके. Now this afferent part of neuron, this is acting like a receptor. So this is simple neural receptors. Free nerve endings are only they are acting like a receptor. Various kind of stimuli, they can cause the stimulation of these nerve endings. Okay. In another case, the receptor is a specialized structure. For example, in the Pacinian capsule, so around this nerve fiber, there is a layers of connective tissue. Okay. So this is your example of Pacinian capsule, or the pressure sensitive receptor. The receptor is a specialized structure. Okay. So that is another type of receptor. And in your some cases, your cell body or soma can also act like a receptor. For example, in your olfactory system, then in your olfactory system, this cell body, they are acting like a receptor. In most of the cases, the axon is a receptor. Okay. Or receptor may not be neither it is axon nor it is cell body. It is another structure that is acting like a receptor. So in the first case, receptor is a part of neuron. Action potential will be triggered if the receptor potential rises above the threshold. In second case, for example, in the spatial senses, for example, in the auditory system, so these are the hair cells. These hair cells, these are acting like a receptor. So these specialized receptor cell, they will release some substance or chemical neurotransmitter, and amount of that neurotransmitter release, that is directly proportional to the strength of stimulus. More the strength of stimulus, more the neurotransmitter will get released, and it will cause the stimulation of this neuron. Clear? The receptor either may be the neuron itself, or it may be the specialized structure, it may be the cell body, or it may be the different structure, like the hair cells in the auditory system, or for example in the visual system, your rod and cones. rodent cones are neither axon or cell body. You can say they are type of modified epithelial cell. So they are acting like a receptor. So that is known as complexity range of receptors. The receptor may be of many types. So we are talking about only the, you can say basically the receptors in the sensory system. Otherwise, receptors का classification आप लोगों ने पढ़ा हुआ है in the endocrine system, depending on the various kind of transduction mechanism. Okay, whether it is G protein coupled receptor, it is intrinsic ion channel, it is enzymatic receptor, like that. So same thing is depicted here. The receptor is the modified ending of afferent neuron, and stimulus is there. It will cause the opening of voltage gated channels. Okay? And impulse will get transmitted. In the special senses, the receptor is a separate cell. The stimulus will lead to the release of neurotransmitter, and it will lead to the opening of chemical messenger gated channel. So here the channels are usually the voltage gated, and here the channels are chemical messenger gated channels. Okay? Now with some facts about various kind of receptors. Pacinian capsule. These are present on the hairy and the glabrous skin. But the hairy and non-hairy, both kind of skins, these receptors are present. This is the most sensitive mechanoreceptor. These are rapidly adapting receptors. Rapidly adapting means whenever you cause the mechanical deformation of the outer layer of this corpuscle, what will happen? Initially, the impulse will be transmitted along the nerve fiber. But later on, what will happen? If there is a continuous stimulation of that Pacinian capsule, so what will happen? That fluid in that Pacinian capsule, it will get redistribute. You can say that mechanical, जो आपका mechanical deformation हुआ initial part में, now it ceased to exist now. Now it will get redistributed. So no longer there is mechanical deformation of the tip of the nerve fiber. Although deformation is happening at the outer part of Pacinian capsule, but it is no longer causing the development of the receptor potential. So you can say it is adapted rapidly. Okay? तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि that adaptation property of that Pacinian capsule, it is because of presence of that concentric layer of connective tissue. So somehow if you remove that concentric layer, so that rapidly adapting receptor that can become the slowly adapting receptor. So that presence of that specialized structure around that tip of nerve fiber, that is giving it the property of rapid adaptation. Okay? Now these Pacinian capsules, they are concerned with the perception of pressure. The pressure you can say is a type of sustained touch sensation, and it is also perceiving the high frequency vibrations. ठीक है? तो जो आपकी राइटिंग है, राइटिंग में आपका कौन सा रिसेप्टर स्टिमुलेट हो रहा है? Pacinian capsule, sustained touch. Okay? When you are holding the pen. They are found in large numbers in the skin, subcutaneous tissue, mesentery, neighborhood of tendon and joints. Okay? You can see here the structure of this Pacinian capsule. There is a capsule of connective tissue and various lamella which are separated by a gel fluid, and inside it there is a unmyelinated nerve fiber tip, and later on it becomes myelinated. What is happening here? As soon as mechanical deformation happens, the deformed area happens, so what will happen? It will increase the positivity inside the neuron. There is development of receptor potential, and if it is above threshold, then action potential will get generated. And action potential will generate at the first node of Ranviera here. And first node of Ranviera, that is usually present inside the capsule only. So mechanical deformation forces here, that will cause the generation of receptor potential and further action potential. Okay? This is the transverse section of this Pacinian capsule. Next is the Meissner capsule. It is also encapsulated receptor. So now endings are encapsulated. These are the most numerous mechanoreceptors in our body. They are present usually in the non-hairy part of the skin, predominantly in the fingertips and the lips. It is also a rapidly adapting type of receptor and is concerned with the low frequency vibration, skin motion and light pressure. Next are the Merkel's disc. These are present in the dermoepidermal junction of the glabrous skin. They are concerned with the perception of touch or tactile receptors. They also respond to the change in texture, low frequency vibrations, sustained pressure. Now, important thing is that they are having a good spatial resolution. What does that mean? Good spatial resolution. Out of all these mechanoreceptors, these are having the very good spatial resolution. A good spatial resolution किस सेंस में हेल्प करेगा? 3D स्ट्रक्चर नहीं, 2-point discrimination. The 2-point discrimination is determined by another factor we will discuss later on. कभी आप लोगों ने ब्लाइंड पीपल को देखा है? ब्लाइंड पीपल की जो टेक्टाइल एक्यूटी है, इट इज मोर. कभी आप लोगों ने वो ब्रेल वर्ड्स देखे हैं? द डॉट्स ऑफ द ब्रेल, दीज आर सेपरेटेड बाय सम डिस्टेंस एंड दैट डिस्टेंस इज यूजुअली कांस्टेंट. दे आर सेपरेटेड बाय 2.5 मिलीमीटर. तो दैट 2.5 मिलीमीटर डिस्टेंस, ठीक है, बिटवीन दीज डॉट्स, दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ प्रेजेंस ऑफ these receptors in your fingertips, that is Merkel's disc. तो Merkel's discs are having the good spatial resolution. उनका receptive field जो होता है सबसे कम होता है. When they are having the very less amount of receptive field, what will happen? When a dot will be touched, so that you can say single Merkel's disc will get stimulated. So subject will have maximum tactile acuity. So because these Merkel's discs, they are having the good spatial resolution, so they are particularly helpful in the tactile acuity for the braille. ठीक है, that is helpful in the blind people. You can say Merkel's disc का जो impulse transmission है, that is a kind of high fidelity representation of the these dots. ठीक है, or these Merkel cells on the which are present on the skin. Next is the Ruffini's end organs. They are also encapsulated endings of myelinated A delta or unmyelinated C group of fibers. They are also responsible for grip holding, or they are sensing the sustained pressure. They are usually found in the dermis and they are slowly adapting type of receptors. Okay. तो कौन से rapidly adapting थे? Pacinian capsules and Meissner capsules. ठीक है. By Merkel's disc and Ruffini end organs, these are slowly adapting. अगर मान लिया Merkel's disc आपके रैपिडली अडेप्टिंग होंगे तो क्या होगा? ब्लाइंड पीपल के लिए फिर हेल्पफुल ही नहीं होगा. तो इट इज नीडेड दैट सब्जेक्ट शुड कंटिन्यूअसली गेट स्टिमुलेशन. दैट्स व्हाई द रिसेप्टर्स आर स्लोली अडेप्टिंग. दे आर हैविंग द गुड स्पेशल रिजोल्यूशन, सो दे आर हेल्पफुल इन दोज पीपल. नाउ फ्री नर्व एंडिंग्स, they are responsible mainly for the reception of the pain, nociception. So all the nociceptors, these are free nerve endings. Apart from that, some other sensations like crude touch, pressure, tickle sensations, and cold and heat. In receptors of all these sensations are also a type of free nerve ending. Okay? Now free nerve endings, now if there is a associated tissue damage around the free nerve ending, now this free nerve ending, the excitability of these free nerve ending, it is subjected to the neighboring interference. Whenever there is associated tissue damage, the excitability of these receptor, it will increase. That means apart from the stimuli, if there is tissue damage also, then these receptors are maximally stimulated. Okay? For example, if there is any kind of injury along with the stimulus, then your pain perception will be more. So you can say pain stimulation may be due to any kind of stimuli, either severe mechanical deformation or extremes of temperature or application of any noxious chemical stimuli. तो these various kind of stimuli, they can cause the stimulation of these free nerve ending and they are responsible for perception of pain. तो पेन पे हम सेपरेट क्लास लेंगे. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर सेंसरी सिस्टम. Now next thing is the receptive field. What is receptive field? Receptive field of a sensory unit is the spatial distribution from which a stimulus produces a response in that unit. Your area over that skin surface, so that is responsible for the transmission of impulse in a single afferent neuron, that is termed as receptive field. तो एक सेंसरी यूनिट का रिसेप्टिव फील्ड क्या होगा आपका कि अगर आपका एक एफरेंट न्यूरॉन में इंपल्स ट्रांसमिट हो रही है तो उसके लिए कौन कितना एरिया रेस्पॉन्सिबल है आपका स्किन के ऊपर, दैट इज द रिसेप्टिव फील्ड फॉर दैट एफरेंट न्यूरॉन. इट विल डिपेंड ऑन ब्रांचिंग ऑफ द एफरेंट फाइबर. इट विल आल्सो बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन द वेरिएशन ऑफ द, you can say, regional variation of your skin. कि these receptive field will be different in the different areas of the skin. Later on we will see, for example, 2-point discrimination. 2-point discrimination is not similar at every area of the skin. Different areas in the skin, they are having different acuity of 2-point discrimination because they are having the different number of branching of the afferent nerve fiber and they are having the different number of receptors. Now the receptive field, this is the reflection of somatic acuity. Okay? So you can say, for example, tactile acuity. So tactile acuity का reflection है receptive field. For example, in the Merkel's disc, the receptive field was small. Smaller the receptive field, more will be the tactile acuity. More will be the somatic acuity. It is important for 2-point discrimination. We will see. Now you just pay attention to this thing. Now these are 3 receptive field. Now this is the receptive field of A neuron. This is the receptive field for B neuron, and this is the receptive field for C neuron. Now what information are you getting? We have touched the skin by 2 stimuli. Simultaneous application of 2 closely situated stimuli. Whether they will be perceived as 2-point or single point. Now in first case, these 2 objects are just separated by this much distance. For example, 2 green dots. In second case, 2 objects, they are separated by this much distance, 2 red dots. In third case, 2 objects are separated by this much distance, 2 blue dots. In these 3 cases, this is the impulse traffic in these 3 neurons, A, B and C. What information are you getting?
The strongest impulse is when the impulse is given at the center of receptor.
Very good. Okay. एक information उन्हें बताई clear. For example, this is the receptor field for A neuron. तो सबसे पहली चीज क्या है कि whenever the stimulus is given in the center of the receptive field, there is a maximum transmission in that afferent neuron. पहली चीज clear कि if the center of the receptive field is stimulated, there will be the transmission, and if the stimuli in the periphery of the receptive field, there will not be much transmission. एक चीज clear. Very good. Second thing,
इनहिबिशन हो रहा है सर, अगर पेरिफेरी पे है तो उसका रिलेटिव जो मतलब हो जाएगा, इंपल्स जाएगा और रिड्यूस इंपल्स.
ठीक है. एक तो आपका जो लेटरल इनहिबिशन है वो होता है कि whenever the impulse is traveling, it will cause the lateral inhibition. Lateral inhibition का फायदा क्या होता है कि it will cause the sharpening of the signal. कि whenever signal is transmitting in a afferent nerve fiber, तो neighboring afferent neurons जो होंगे उसमें आपका ट्रांसमिशन स्लो हो जाएगा. इट विल गेट रिड्यूस. तो एक तो वो हो रहा है. और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है, अगर हमसे पूछे हम 2-point डिस्क्रिमिनेशन मैक्सिमम किस केस में है, ग्रीन वाले केस में, रेड वाले केस में या ब्लू वाले केस में? मैक्सिमम 2-point डिस्क्रिमिनेशन इज इन द ब्लू वाले केस में. व्हाई?
सर 2
ओके, क्लियर आपको? तो फर्स्ट केस में क्या हो रहा है? सिट डाउन. यू कैन सी हियर कि whenever these two dots are situated here, so you can see this dot is in the periphery of a receptive field, only a small amount of spike rate. B में क्या हो रहा है? Both the dots are in the center of the receptive field of the B neuron. You can say maximum spike rate in the green here. Here, second dot here, this is in the periphery of the C neuron receptive field. Again, the spike rate is less. In second case, two red dots, this is near to the center. Okay? So the spike rate is more than the green one. Similarly, here, spike rate is more than the green one. Now, both these red dots, they are falling in the receptive field of the B neuron, the maximum transmission in the B neuron. In third case, this blue dot, it is in the center of the receptive field of A neuron, maximum transmission here. Here, this is in the center of the receptive field of C neuron, maximum transmission. Now, but in case of B, both these dots are falling in the edge of that receptive field. So there is least transmission here. So that's why maximum impulse traffic is occurring in the A neuron and C neuron. The brain will perceive only this case, blue dots, as the two objects. The two closely situated objects will be perceived as distinct one only in case of blue case. Okay? Whenever these two dots are in the center of the receptive field. Now this distance between dots, that will be dependent on the different regions. Okay? It will be least in the fingertips. ठीक है? अगर थोड़ा सा इधर आए हम और proximally, तो it will be more here in the at the wrist. Now this is one case. Now this is case for your afferent neuron. Now these are the receptive field for primary sensory neuron, जो आपका first sensory neuron जा रहा है. ठीक है ना? Now this thing is complicated further in our body by another phenomena, that is, later on we will see. ये तो क्लियर हो गया आपको कि अगर 2 points आपके perceive हैं, तो they are perceived as 2 points only because these two dots or two objects are falling in the separate receptive field. Here, these two dots or two stimuli, they are falling in the single receptive field, so it will be perceived as single point. Okay? But important thing, it is complication further occurs due to, now distance I have already told you. This is, for example, maximum distances at the back. Okay? So here you can say more than 60 millimeter. So this much distance is required to perceived as 2 point, while only 2 to 4 millimeter is required to perceived as 2 point in case of fingertips and lips. Okay? So these are having the maximum propensity to develop the to cause the perception of 2 point discrimination. The same thing here. If distance is less than 1 millimeter, only a single afferent neuron will get stimulated. There will be a 1 point discrimination. If distance is more than 1 millimeter, and if there is stimulation of 2 afferent neuron, there will be 2 point discrimination. Now this distance is more at the back because there is very few number of units here. You can see here the units, these sensory units are closely situated here, and these sensory units are at much distance with each other. So here, if distance is less than 30 millimeter, it will be perceived as 1 point discrimination. If it is more than 70 millimeter, it will be clearly demarcated as 2 point discrimination. Now this was case about the receptive field for primary sensory neuron. Another thing occurs that these primary sensory neuron, they converge to the secondary sensory neuron. Now you just pay your attention here. Now these are the receptive field for primary sensory neuron, afferent neuron that we were talking about. Now all these primary afferent neuron, they will further converge on the secondary neuron. So this whole will be the receptive field for this neuron, secondary neuron. So many primary sensory neurons, they converge onto a single secondary neuron, and that creates a very large receptive field. The two stimuli will be perceived as single point because both the stimuli are falling within the same receptive field. You can see here कि पहले केस में तो हमको लग रहा था it will be perceived as 2 point, but it also depends on your convergence in your neural circuitry. If all these neurons they are converging into a single secondary neuron, then it will still be perceived as single point. Only one signal will go to the brain. While in another case you can see here, when fewer neurons they converge, secondary receptive fields are much smaller, and the two stimuli they will activate the separate pathway, and they are perceived as distinct stimuli. So you can see here all these primary efferent neurons they were converging onto single secondary neuron, and here you can see here there are more number of secondary neuron. So receptive field for these secondary neuron is much smaller compared to the primary neuron. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? Here in this case two signal are going to the brain. So for 2-point discrimination, convergence, if convergence is more, 2-point discrimination will be less. If convergence is less, 2-point discrimination will be more. So what are the factors on which 2-point discrimination depends on? It depends on, now this 2-point discrimination or tactile localization, it is more on the extremities than on the proximal part. We have seen that it is more on the fingertips and lips rather than on the back. It depends on, first thing, greater number of receptors. On your fingertips or on your distal part or extremities, the number of receptors are more. Second thing, greater number of afferent. The number of afferent fibers are more on the extremities compared to the proximal part. Okay, so that's why maximum propensity for that. Third thing, little convergence of afferents centrally. Okay, convergence जितना कम होगा उतना ज़्यादा 2-point discrimination होगा. Next thing is the another important entity is a wide area of cortical representation, good analysis and interpretation. Later on we will see in the sensory homunculus in different areas of your body they are allotted different amount of areas in the somatosensory cortex. So for your extremities like fingertips, there is a larger amount of area that is given in the cortical circuitry. Okay, so more the area, more the representation of that body part in the cortex, more will be the, you can say, tendency for 2-point discrimination. Clear? Now next topic is your sensory coding. What is sensory coding? कि जो भी आपकी सेंसेशन है उस सिंक्रोनाइज्ड सेंसेशन को बॉडी परसीव कर रही है कि इनिशियली इट वाज ओनली सेंसरी स्टिमुलाई दैट कन्वर्टेड टू sensory information and ultimately to the level of perception. So your sensory system, it codes for these four attributes of the stimulus. High stimulus में these are the 4 elementary attributes which are responsible for sensory coding. One is your modality, another is your location, third is your intensity, and fourth is your duration, adaptation. In the modality, important part is your adequate stimulus. Adequate stimulus क्या होता है? मैंने आपको बताया था कि every receptor it is having sensitivity to the specific type of stimuli. That stimuli is adequate for that receptor. That is specific for that receptor. That is known as adequate stimulus. For example, here, adequate stimulus is the physical energy to which a receptor is most tuned. For example, in case of eye, light will be the adequate stimulus. Ear, sound will be the adequate stimulus. टच के लिए मैकेनिकल डिफॉर्मेशन, मसल स्पिंडल के लिए चेंजेस इन द मसल लेंथ, गोल्गी टेंडन ऑर्गन के लिए चेंजेस इन द मसल टेंशन. दीज आर द एडिक्वेट स्टिमुलस फॉर दिस काइंड ऑफ रिसेप्टर्स. ऑल्दो द रिसेप्टर्स मे गेट स्टिमुलेटेड बाय अदर काइंड ऑफ स्टिमुलाई दैट मे नॉट बी एडिक्वेट और स्पेसिफिक. ठीक है, जैसे आप लोगों ने फिल्मों में देखा होगा है ना कि मैकेनिकल ब्लो ऑन द हेड साउंड सुनाई देती है. इसका मतलब क्या है? इफ यू गिव द हैवी मैकेनिकल ब्लो ऑन द हेड, इट कैन आल्सो लीड टू द स्टिमुलेशन ऑफ ऑडिटरी रिसेप्टर but threshold for that stimuli, it is much more than the sound energy. ठीक है, वैसे जैसे आपका जो फोटो रिसेप्टर्स हैं, दे आर स्टिमुलेटेड बाई लाइट स्टिमुलाई, ठीक है. लेकिन अगर आप हैवी मैकेनिकल प्रेशर दे दें यहाँ पर, समटाइम्स आल्सो दीज फोटो रिसेप्टर्स गेट स्टिमुलेटेड, योर फ्लैशेस ऑफ लाइट परसेप्शन हैपन्स, ठीक है. बट दैट स्टिमुलाई इज नॉट एडिक्वेट और नॉट स्पेसिफिक फॉर दैट रिसेप्टर, ठीक है. तो दैट मीन्स एवरी रिसेप्टर इट इज स्पेसिफिक फॉर स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ स्टिमुलाई. ओके, now this is your cross sectional area of somatosensory cortex at the level of post central gyrus. एनाटॉमी पढ़ा होगा, ये क्या पता चलता है इससे? एनीवन?
The size of the respective body part given shows us how much representation it has in the cortex, for it, like how much area is responsible for the sensation coming from that particular.
ओके, वेरी गुड. सिट डाउन. तो पहली चीज जो टैक्टाइल लोकलाइजेशन है कि जो रिसेप्टर से इंफॉर्मेशन जा रही है, टैक्टाइल लोकलाइजेशन बॉडी कैसे पता लगाती है? वेयर दैट सर्किटरी इज फाइनली रिलेइंग इन योर ब्रेन, ठीक है. तो योर डिफरेंट एरियाज इन योर ब्रेन, दे आर हैविंग द लोकलाइजेशन फॉर different areas of the skin, and that allotment of area that is different for the different part of the body. Maximum is for, you can say, for lips, face, ठीक है, and least for your trunk and the lower part of the body, ठीक है. तो अगर हम देखें तो आपका this will be your medial part, this will be your lateral part. So upper part of body it is represented in the cortex most laterally, while lower part of the body it is represented most medially. This is known as sensory homunculus, or the little man in your brain. Now that little man in your brain, the body parts are not proportionate or as uniform as normally should happen, but it is bit, you can say it is a bit distorted man. The distortion is because different areas in your brain, they are given the different सर्किटरी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपका ये वाला लिप्स वाला रीजन है, ठीक है, तो दिस मच एरिया दैट इज अलॉटेड फॉर लिप्स रीजन. इसका मतलब क्या है कि दैट कॉर्टिकल सर्किटरी फॉर दिस रीजन इज मैक्सिमम. तो योर नंबर ऑफ रिसेप्टर्स, नंबर ऑफ एफरेंट न्यूरॉन, नंबर ऑफ योर यू कैन से सेकेंडरी एंड टर्शियरी न्यूरॉन इन योर ब्रेन, दीज आर मैक्सिमम इन दीज रीजन्स, ठीक है. ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज दीज रीजन्स, योर डिस्टल एक्सट्रीमिटीज, दीज आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द फाइन मैनिपुलेशन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. जो आपके टूल्स है, आपका सिविलाइजेशन में टूल्स का स्किल्ड यूज करने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? जो डिस्टल पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी है, जो एक्सट्रीमिटीज हैं, दे शुड बी अलॉटेड द मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ एरिया. दैट्स व्हाई दैट योर ब्रेन कैन परफॉर्म मोर एफिशिएंटली. तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ योर बॉडी और द डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ वर्क, ठीक है, तो डिफरेंट एरियाज हैव बीन अलॉटेड इन योर सोमेटोसेंसरी कॉर्टेक्स. ओके, later on we will see your next discussion in the next class. Okay, thank you.